Hello, welcome to the Bitching Dad. We are your hosts, Bekah, Farid, and Tara. We're a webcast from the minds of the geek area, and we're here to bitch about stuff and things because somebody has to do it. And we're apparently the only ones left watching the show. If you have not seen episodes 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 of Walking Dead Season 11, please turn back now. We are not responsible for any spoilers you hear. We did warn you, although we are doing you a service at this point.
Please remember that this is recorded live, so we aren't exactly sure what's going to happen. Please forgive us for any technical difficulties or accidental or intentional swears. You can join the conversation with the hashtag #TheBitchingDead.
We would like to remind all of you that the views expressed on this webcast are those of the hosts as individuals and do not necessarily represent the geeky area or the webcast itself as a whole.
Okay, news. We have to begin with news. So, of course, the ratings are in, and yeah, episode number 17, it gave the show the lowest rating yet, with only 1.19 million people tuning in. I guess only 1.19 billion people remembered that the show was coming back this October.
I was going to say, because I thought it was coming back
Right?
later in October, so...
Right? Yeah,
I don't know. What show are we watching again? What is this? I don't know. Where am I? Who knows? What year is it?
Yeah, so because the previous finale, episode number 16, that aired months ago, at least that ended with 1.61 million. But episode number 17 got 1.19 million. However, by episode number 18, I guess more people remembered that, oh, The Walking Dead is back. So the viewership did tick up, and it ended up gaining 1.35 million for episode number 18 and 1.36 million for episode number 19. However, it's still lower than what episode number 16 posted like months ago. So the viewership is still like steadily declining. So yeah, I have a fingers crossed that by the end of season number 11 that it would like fall off the 1 million viewership milestone, but that looks unlikely at this point. Because with the show ending, I think that more people might end up at least watching the final episode to see how everything ends. That might happen.
Fun.
So, yeah. And surprisingly, we didn't necessarily get a lot of news about The Walking Dead over these past few weeks for some reason. I don't know why, because the show is airing. You would think that they would be releasing more news. But no, the only news that we got was that the Maggie and Negan spinoff, it ended up changing its name from Isle of the Dead to Dead City. A play on Sin City? I don't know.
It sounds to me personally, that sounds like a really bad like video game title.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it just bad, bad, bad,
Yeah.
bad.
And we got a release date. So apparently, the show is going to release on April 2023, next year, April.
Cool.
And there's a gimmick involved. So apparently, Maggie and Negan, because the entire area is like flooded with walkers, they'll be using zip lines in order to move around the buildings because they can't
Okay.
go to the ground.
Zip
Cool.
lines. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, because the doc said zip ties, and I was like,
I wrote zip
Yeah,
ties.
I was reading
writing
through it and I was like, don't use zip lines.
In my mind, I wrote zip lines.
Because you said zip ties, and I was like,
yeah, I was trying to figure out how zip ties could.
Yeah,
they're zip tied. They're zip tied by the wrists, and they like get on those things and they just zoom across.
Yeah. They use the zip ties to get on the zip lines.
I mean, that makes sense, sort of, maybe.
Kind of.
Are zip ties strong enough for that? I don't know.
I mean, they wouldn't be strong enough for my fat ass, but I'm sure it would hold y'all.
But yeah, that's what will be happening. We'll be seeing Negan going whee from one building to the next building.
This is so stupid. It really is the video game. It's like
they're going to start shooting each other while they're on zip lines. That's going to happen.
So basically, you're telling me that everything is going to be done on built roofs of buildings.
Because the ground is flooded with walkers.
Mm.
And I guess contaminated rats or something. But yeah. Also, no new news about the Daryl spin-off, where he'll be magically transported to Europe for some reason. So yeah, that's
They're still
no
filming
development.
in Georgia. I don't know if they're actually going to be filming in Georgia. That's just
Yeah, because they do film Fear the Walking Dead elsewhere, right? Texas or something. But well, it'll be real interesting. Actually, there's a lot of Marvel shows that film in Georgia that are supposed to take place in or around New York City. So who knows? We'll be looking for those Atlanta landmarks.
yeah.
seeing them zip tying.
Zip tying across the Marriott.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Well, okay then. I guess we'll be watching this show.
April 2023. Yeah.
Yay.
We're all
How long
so
have we been doing this? We've been doing this. Let's see. We
like
started in
5 years.
2017. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Y'all.
I think it'll be 5 years next month.
It's half a decade.
That's sad.
Why? All right. Is that all the news that we have? So little.
That's
news.
it. That's
Yeah.
surprisingly so little news for some reason.
Yeah. Well, season 11, episode 17, what would you call it? It's not mid-season premiere. It's like not season premiere. It's the tri-season premiere. I don't know. Whatever.
Is this the final season?
Yes.
Final. This is a 3 out of 3 premiere, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Because I was
last
like,
chunk of the last season.
I have lost so much time to this show. I'm like, what happened? And I just, oh well. Okay. I don't remember what this one is called. Oh, Lockdown.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say this now. I've watched everything. It all blurred together. I kind of viewed it like a movie because I watched everything one after the other. I liked these episodes. I did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed dialogue. Were there some dumb parts? Yeah. Were there some characters that finally fucking died? Thank God. Yes. But yeah. So I'm just I'll just follow along, do my best. And I'm going to bitch in, wink wonk, whenever whenever I can. But these episodes were not terrible. Like I'm finding myself enjoying this last season.
Bekah, no.
I know. Look, there's plenty of time for me to hate. Look, I hate Fear the Walking Dead. Okay, I'm allowed some tiny spark of joy in this absolute clusterfuck that we have gotten ourselves into. Okay, I'm allowed to have a tiny bit of joy.
I suppose. Okay, so favorite moments then?
I actually like the fact that Hornsby was shown to be quite aggressive. We have seen him to be very politically minded and everything, but he was aggressive enough to actually go after Daryl instead of sending his minions after Daryl. So I like that. He was ready to shoot him while Daryl was driving the car. I was like, yep, Hornsby wants this man dead. And then we also got to see Gracie. I was like, hey, Gracie, nice to see you. Okay. And yeah, Carol, the way that Carol ended up having those people agree to let her friends go and everything, I like that. I always like it when Carol does something like that, very Batman-esque in the world of The Walking Dead in a way. So yeah, I like Carol. I like Batman Carol.
Yeah. I mean, she I don't know. I keep waiting for something to, like, for some sort of ball to drop where she's actually like horrible because she's definitely been horrible before, but generally, it's hard to not love Carol.
Mhm.
Yeah. So remind me exactly what happened in this one. They're running from Hornsby and his goons, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The little plastic stormtroopers. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's really funny. Whenever you put on plastic armor, you automatically cannot shoot. I guess that's like a Star Wars curse or something. Because like if you wear sci-fi armor and it's made out of plastic and you look like cut up Halloween buckets, McDonald's, I'm looking at you. Um, you know, suddenly you lose your ability to shoot guns. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's like one single thought. The one thought I had while watching these episodes was, I can't shoot a gun.
So we Jerry. My favorite thing about this episode was Jerry being Jerry. Because like Negan of all people shows up and Jerry's just like, "Hey, what you doing here, man?" And it's like, it's the fucking Negan. Like later, I can't remember which episode it is later where I think I think it might be episode 21 where Negan's trying to get Ezekiel to work with him and Ezekiel's like, "Fuck you, man." But like Jerry, meanwhile, is just Jerry. He's just, he just loves everybody, I guess. Even Negan.
He's like surprised, but at the same time, he's kind of like, "Oh, it's Negan, right on, man. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like he's surprised.
What are you doing here?"
Not angry about it, like not really upset to see Negan. If anything,
Well,
kind of the opposite.
Also, though, didn't Jerry spend a little bit more time with Negan and then Ezekiel did?
In
Okay,
Alexandria,
so
yeah.
yeah. So Jerry got to know Negan a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry got to know Negan a little bit better because Ezekiel was saying, I kept my distance from you. I don't want anything to do with you. Because that's what he said in episode 21. He's like, yeah. And come to think of it, that is true. Like, we really don't see a lot of Negan and Ezekiel, like,
well, for
talking.
Good reason.
Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, like, Ezekiel's fucking pissed, and as he should be.
But anyway, did love just Jerry being Jerry as per the usual, as always. I also did kind of like the Maggie and Daryl moment, like just that sort of reminder that Daryl's found family is so important to him, protecting them, keeping them together if he can, etc. I thought that was just a nice they're constantly, everybody seems angry with each other and whatnot so much of the time that it's nice to be reminded that they do actually like each other sometimes.
Like an actual family. Yeah.
Truth. So yeah.
This is kind of encompassing all of the episodes, but I kind of enjoyed listening to the kids narrate. No, Farid, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. This is about me. This is my moment.
How much money has Scott Gimple been paying you, Bekah? Tell us the truth.
Listen, what happens between me and Scott Gimple is none of your business. Me and
You
the little whale man
man
have worked out a deal. What?
Your little whale man. I still don't really know why we call him that. He does, like, we decided one night, probably when we'd been drinking, that he looked like a little whale man. And
yeah, really, it was right after. It was shortly after Bale died. It was shortly after Beth died because I was furious. And
he was on like the
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
With Chris Hardwick. And but yeah, he became Little Whale Man, and I'm pretty sure it's because he has those teeny tiny eyes and his mouth is like
I'm looking at him now and he looks like he's very ill, honestly.
He reminds me of Mark Zuckerberg, who doesn't look quite human.
Oh.
He looks like a less fun Zach Galifianakis.
Look, keep Galifianakis' name out of your mouth. He is a cool guy, even though he really gets on my nerves sometimes. I'm like, you're trying too hard to be funny, Zach Galifianakis. Knock it off. You too, Jonah Hill, while I'm at it.
Anyway,
God, what was I saying? But I don't know. I kind of liked the kids doing the narration. Shut up, Farid. And And it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of short. They showed a little bit of like the before times. I kind of liked that. And it was, I don't know, they were, and they, I feel like they chose good moments. Like with Sophia and Carol, and but I don't know, maybe that's just the nostalgia hitting me lately, and also I'm sick, so maybe it's just my fever addled brain being like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Like, we'll chalk it up to that. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of liked the emotion with the kids talking and being like, this is the way it used to be. And obviously the kids were not around for that. They don't know. And so they're having to live, everything that they know about the previous world, they've learned from their parents, from, from Michonne, from Rick, from Daryl, from Carol, from Maggie. So I'm guessing that it was Judith and Gracie and maybe RJ and Herschel that were talking. I'm guessing so.
I think all of the narrations were by Judith, right?
No, there was a little boy that talked too.
Probably RJ then, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I quite liked that, but that encompasses all the episodes.
Yeah, those recaps, I was like, look at the show telling us, like, remember when this used to be good?
Look,
like,
it's
remember?
Not at least. Do you remember when that episode was shot? Was it all black and white? Didn't they have an all black and white episode?
I don't know. Was it? I don't think it was all black and white, but there was
one that was shot in like vignettes where they had like the
yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was that was horrific. That was truly awful.
Anyway,
least favorite moments. Farid, you have nothing down, but I'm sure you have lots of WTF and gripes.
It was an episode.
I just didn't like. I want to know how those walkers were strong enough to pull apart a live person wearing armor.
They were hungry.
That fabric was made in the USA. It's weak. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I was wondering that too. Like, I guess they have like I mean, it's not like they have like sharper fingernails or anything. It's not like they could like.
Remember that walker that was able to dig into that person's stomach way back in season number 2 or 1?
I mean, if you're hungry enough, anything is possible.
Yeah, the one who owned the RV, who in the comics like
Dale.
Yeah, Dale. The walker ended up digging into his stomach. Remember?
Yeah,
and that's how he died.
A bunch of times.
Yeah, so they're strong enough.
I guess.
When the plot needs them to be.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really have any other gripes on what the fuck's, like Farid said, this was an episode.
Yeah, and that person dying, I was like, okay, so he's dying because the plot wants him to die. There was no reason for him to get caught. Like, he was in the field. He could have ran away easily. Like, yeah. It was an episode. Yeah.
All right. Episode 18, A New Deal.
New Deal. Yeah, my favorite moment was the fact that Daryl immediately knew that Carol did something. He was like, what?
Carol is always pulling the strings.
Yeah. Why we love her.
Yeah, what have you done? That made me laugh. Also, another Gracie sighting. I was like, yeah, Gracie. And then apparently, the Invincible comic book is canon in The Walking Dead. Because RJ
that what RJ was reading?
Yeah.
Yep. I was like, okay. Self promotion, self plug-in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And also Sebastian, finally, I loved it. Like, I have been waiting for him to die for a very, very long time. And the way that he died, no one was coming to help him. Everyone was just standing there watching him die. I was like, yep, that's what you deserve.
And somehow it's all Eugene's fault.
Yeah, and again, somehow it's all Eugene's fault. Yeah, because everyone saw Eugene throw a walker at him. Everyone saw it while they were running for their own life.
Well, like, they had to choose somebody because obviously they saw Max fighting with a walker, and they saw him chasing her, and they obviously knew that it was Max. But the thing is that is Mercer loyal enough to stay with what's her ass,
Pamela?
Milton?
Princess?
Yeah, to stay with Pamela.
Okay.
Is he loyal enough to stay with her if Pamela were to punish Max? I don't think so. To be honest, he's not loyal enough to begin with to stay with Pamela. Like, I don't know why he's still there. He's still on the fence, wobbly, wibbly, wobbly. But I mean, we all know that Eugene had to take the fall for it. And
even though he didn't like throw the walker at him on purpose, right? He just wanted it away from Max. Like,
but I didn't even see him throw the walker. I saw Max push the walker herself. Was Eugene the one who threw the walker?
No, maybe it was.
No. Sebastian pushed the walker on Max, and then Eugene pulled the walker off Max.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Onto Eugene, onto what's his, and then he was, and then he was laying on the ground, and he was struggling, and the walker was on top of him, and everybody was standing around just like watching him, and nobody was helping.
The walker was actually behind him. But I was
like,
Sebastian,
there was the walker behind him, and
faced the walker, but no, Sebastian was like, nope, someone help me, and the walker bit him in the neck.
Bit him in the back. Okay, yeah,
he's
cool.
Dumb.
Okay,
he's dumb. Yeah, I mean, if I literally just chose a like moment, which is just, I like when Carol's saying goodbye to
Lydia.
God, Lydia, thank you. And I was just gonna say, what's her name? And you know, Lydia feels all bad because she dated Henry for like a hot minute, and now she might like someone else. And Carol's like, nah, it's okay. Like, I can just see Carol like, what the hell, child? Like, you're a teenager, and this. How long has Henry been dead? Like, a year or more? 2 years? 3 years? Years, right?
Yeah,
it's been years. So you can't expect a yeah. Oh well. It was a good quote too. She said, like, you can't you take happiness wherever you can get it, and don't be sorry for it. And I feel it's a very Carol thing to think after all.
Yeah, me coming in between Connie and Daryl. me making Connie disappear. and then going with Daryl on a bike ride to find her.
You were the one who did that. You made Connie disappear. You know what, Farid? We're gonna have to turn this. We're gonna have to turn our cameras off, and we're gonna have to have a little talk. I'm coming to Canada in January, so meet me outside. Not really. I don't really care about Daryl and Connie. Like, I just just keep Daryl alive. That's all. I ask.
We know that's gonna happen because he's got another show. So
yeah,
he's going to Europe.
They should have done is they should have kept all the shows under wraps and then announced them at the end.
Yeah,
that's what Jeffrey Dean Morgan wanted. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was very disappointed that they announced the spin-offs.
Yeah,
because now you know that these characters are going to make it. I want Daryl to end up in France, and then everyone has a weird French accent when they speak in English.
Even the zombies.
Yeah, they're like,
oh, oui, baguette.
Just be super extra French.
Omelette du fromage. Touch me, my sword. It's time to go zombie hunting.
Right.
Oui.
That's Arnold. That was Arnold, Bekah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I should be talking like Lumiere from The Beauty and the Beast. I'm fit everywhere.
They need to do that.
I don't know. I have a French accent. I love Sebastian dying. Finally, fucking bye, you stupid ass bitch. Fuck you, Sebastian. You piece of shit. Fucking fuck you. Of course, he did serve his purpose.
Community.
Huh?
Fuck a lot of people in this community.
Yeah, I mean, he did serve his purpose, which is, something that I know that you have listed as both a fave and a not fave moment. So I'll let you talk about it, Tara. But
yeah, it's like,
and I wouldn't say it's a favorite moment, but it's kind of like one of those things that's like, ooh, this is really hard hitting. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah. So me, like, I put this as my least favorite moment, just because, Sebastian, and just, finding out just how shitty everything is in the background in this community. But when he really did have some real takes there when he's talking about the poor staying poor so the rich can stay rich and do whatever they want. And then he admits that his mom picks the lottery winners and everything. So it was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was I know it's like I'm saying it's both a favorite and not favorite thing because it's like too real. Get out of here with your real takes in my
It
TV
was a
show that I
little
forced myself to watch.
it was a little too close. The poor stay poor and the rich do whatever the hell
Yeah,
they want, whatever the fuck they want. That's a little too close for comfort, my dudes.
yeah,
And of course, there are other people out there who are gonna be like, "Oh, that's just a fairy tale, made up storyland." But there are those of us who know that's the truth. It's always been the truth. There's a class system. Even in the apocalypse, there's a class system. There's always going to be oppression, and there's always going to be, a class system.
There's now even a class system as far as the walkers are concerned.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to that
The
in our gosh, it
next
makes me think.
episode. Yeah. The class system. Yeah.
So am I the only one that had a least favorite thing about the least favorite moment? The rest of us just have gripes and what the fucks, it seems.
I mean,
I don't really care.
it was like an episode. Like, yeah, it's an episode. Ooh, Sebastian
Yeah,
died. Good.
like I said, everything really blurred together because I'm not feeling well. So
Hmm. Also, the Judith recaps. I was like, no, no, I don't want to. I don't want to hear Judith's voice. Like, don't do this. But
the
that
little
happened.
troll.
Yeah, you little gremlin. But yeah, it happened in like every episode.
She's so cute though. She stopped being a gremlin a while ago. It looks wise anyway, I guess. I love the dichotomy between you two, how Bekah likes them and you hate them so much. I'm kind of like, why is this a thing? This is unnecessary. Like I don't hate it, but it's like, eh.
I'm
I
not.
just,
I'm not in love with them. Like I'm not gonna
oh, I
like
know.
drop down and be like, "Oh, this is the best show in the world." But I'm like,
Remember when it was
I
good though?
really, as far as like the show has gone, we have had a lot of really shitty seasons. Is this
Hey,
anything
hey,
like the
hey!
past seasons?
You take happiness
No.
wherever you can get. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
while
Yeah,
watching The
yeah.
Walking
So shut
Dead,
the fuck up, Farid.
and don't ever be sorry for it.
Yeah.
My only like other like WTF thing was the glow style wrestling. Like how it was just, I mean, it was straight up like the God, what are their names? The two main characters, the one that's like Liberty Bell and the Russian, the girl who does like the Russian one, and it was that, but with the Commonwealth versus whatever. Like it was just very very much glow, which I was like, where'd you take this page from, guys?
The entire scene made me just remember Mickey from Fear the Walking Dead. I was like, you know what?
Oh yeah.
I want her back. I want her back. Yeah.
She'll show up and be their new wrestler.
Wrestling coach or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, episode number 19, The Variant.
Episode number 19, Variant. Favorite moment.
My only favorite moment was the hint that a new kingdom might be created, and it might end up being ruled by Jerry and Nabila by the end of this show.
Yeah. Jerry would be. It's like I want to say Jerry would be good at that, but I'm also like, ooh, I don't know. Jerry's like maybe way too nice. Like, would he be able to like do the hard things, the difficult things? I don't know. He'd be like, oh, new baddie. Like, let's just be buds, and you can come hang out with us here, like Negan. Like, I really liked the stuff with Princess, how we got like her backstory, and it was really sad. But I'm glad that she's really like putting her foot down and taking a stand for Eugene, because he believed in her and accepted her for who she was, when she's, the type of person who had been through so much that she straight up says, like, when I see a man, I see a monster. But Eugene turned that around on her. Sorry. So yeah, so her story is really sad, but I really liked getting the backstory, and I really liked her standing up for Eugene. And same with Farid, the King Jerry and Queen Nabila. I like the sound of that. So say we all.
Yes, I love that they filmed at the Renaissance Fairgrounds.
Yeah, I looked it up
really
too.
Cool.
I was like, that's got to be the Georgia Ren Fair, right? I've never been to that one, but all my friends go to it, so recognize.
But yeah, whether or not that kingdom can survive like a week in, but still it happening, I'll be attending the opening ceremony. King Jerry and Queen Nabila. Bekah?
So this is one of those like one of those things that's like it's, I can't believe it's real. So I hate it so much that I didn't hate it. So you know how like throughout the entire 5 years that we've had this show, we've always joked about like the walkers that cut the grass and the walkers that cut the hair and the walkers that do the eyebrows and stuff. Well, I think we may have found the walker that's doing all of that. So you know, like they talk about, because originally we had an homage to George Romero's zombies that kind of returned to where they came from with Morgan's wife.
Yeah.
And also with some of the walkers picking up rocks and smashing windows and stuff like that. So we had an homage to George Romero's walkers zombies in some of his films, and that was definitely an homage. But in this episode, we have a walker who can climb, can open doors, actually can physically fight, and seems to be aware of what's happening, like is able to like stop, pick up a rock, right? Is able to stop Lydia's stick, is able to stop it by grabbing it. Her staff thing. And they're like, oh, there's no way, this has to be a whisper. And they grab the face and rip it off, and it's not a whisper, it's a straight up walker. And they call it an aberration at first. But I kind of got excited a little bit, because it was a nice break from the usual stuff. But at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you know, it took us this long to get into, you know, like how have these walkers evolved? Is it something that I want to call them Studio 8? That's not what that is. The not night crawlers. God, what is in the world beyond? What are they called? What is not the Commonwealth,
I don't fucking know. There's so many.
The Civic Republic.
Yeah.
Is it something that they've created with their serums?
Ooh.
Who knows? Is it something that they created these smart zombies?
And these writers aren't smart like that.
They're not smart. Okay, they're not smart like that.
That would have made so much sense. That would have made so.
It would have made sense, but they were experimenting on the zombies and they accidentally created these. Right? It reminds me of Zombieland, whenever they have they call them T-800 zombies after the Terminator, where these zombies are like smarter, faster. It takes more to kill them. And I kind of enjoyed watching. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy watching it. Like the whole time I was kind of like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But also I did enjoy watching that zombie fight. I did. It was kind of cool to see it become aware and fight back, knowing that it was a zombie and not a whisper. Because at first I was like, wait, I mean, what if it is a whisper? No, it wasn't. So, you know, it kind of makes me roll my eyes, but at the same time, I don't know. I really actually quite did enjoy that. And I also kind of was like, really? Like,
I mean, we
really?
kind of know that the zombies are changing because again, the ending of the world beyond, the zombies are getting faster, and in the Daryl
Hmm.
show, they're supposed to be becoming more dangerous.
And
So I
Daryl's
guess
show they were
this,
becoming more dangerous. Oh,
yep,
okay.
yep.
Mm,
This is probably like laying the groundwork for that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Huh.
interesting.
But
Well, I'm
yeah, at
interested to
least.
see
Mhm.
more of that than watching the zombies that can open doors and unlock locks and stuff like
Mhm.
that and climb walls. And anyway,
It
go ahead.
changes the paradigm that we've been like stuck with for so long, for sure,
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, least favorite moment, I was like, ah, yes, let's mention the dead queer husband after all these years to push the
Uh,
straight romance forward. Like,
I
yeah,
thought of
let's do that.
I
Mm.
thought of
Let's
you
do
whenever he started
that.
talking about Eric. I was like, oh, Farid's gonna be mad.
Aaron's new straight agenda.
The heteros are at it again.
Mhm.
And poor Aaron can't even like. ugh.
And Aaron's
Oh
still
Lord,
single. Like, what the? Like, it
he's
makes no
the
sense.
he's the only gay man left in the apocalypse, Nikki.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think it's. I just am. I was just bleh about like Pamela. All of a sudden, she just loves her son, cares about her son so much. I was like, come on, like you've been such a bitch. Yeah, granted, kid was awful and deserved it, but like you've been such a bitch, and
Uh huh.
she
Uh
made him
huh.
that way. Let's be real,
Hmm.
probably like, or was it was a big part of what made him that way, kind of allowing him to get away with shit and everything. But just the all of a sudden she loves her son so much. It's like, ugh, get out of here with that. Like, stop. This is like the opposite of like character development. I don't know. It's dumb. I didn't like it.
I guess they just wanted her to become a villain. And I guess they were like, yep, her son dying, that's what's going to push her over the edge, even though it made no sense.
She was
Like,
already a. I mean, maybe not a straight up horrible villain, but she was
mhm,
already a bad person and a bad leader. Fuck you,
mhm.
Pamela.
And she was like, I was training you to become the new leader. I was like, when? Where? How?
Seriously. Like,
By letting you go out and fuck your girlfriend in the woods while there were zombies around. Okay.
Right.
putting people in danger because like you can't take care of yourself. Ugh,
Yeah.
whatever. Whatever.
Yeah. And then she explained it like his grandfather and father were like that too. I was like, no, no. You're trying to explain it. It's making no sense. Yeah.
Hmm.
So least favorite moments for you, Becca?
Least favorite moments in uh the Walker thing. Um Also the whole Pamela Lance thing. For the longest time I thought they were related, but obviously they're not related. So I just
I think he was like a friend of the family.
Mm-hmm,
okay,
mm-hmm.
because I thought maybe he was her husband's brother or something, but
I think Lance's dad was the chauffeur,
Uh,
and then
oh yeah,
Lance
but then
ended up
he
working himself
yeah,
into the political circle.
he
Yeah.
did yeah, like he at first I thought that but then later he did say it was the
Mm,
chauffeur's son.
yeah.
But that was after I already got the gross feelings. Whenever she like touches him, I was like,
Oh, he's into it. He
ugh.
is into
Yeah,
it.
he's
Yeah.
totally into it. Like and I'm just like, he exists to be a little bitch boy to have a strong woman push him around, and it's just not sex.
Hmm.
Like, ooh, gross. And then she was like, and then she's like, "You're gonna feed my son," and I was like, and that didn't make any sense to me because I was like, "Is he gonna be the meal, or is the dead
Right.
yeah.
guy gonna be the meal?" Because zombies prefer like live food, like, I, and like his hands were bound. So does that mean that Lance was just gonna chop him up and be like, "Here, Sebastian, yum yum yum. Here comes the airplane." Like I, I don't know. It was very weird and very strange. But that's part of my gripe and WTF moments. I just kind of got the heebie-jeebies from them interacting.
Yeah.
So yeah, my gripe is, yep, the Judith recaps, the weekly recaps. I was like, no, no, Judith, no, I don't care. You weren't there, Judith. You weren't there. I was there. I saw it all. I remember. The North remembers. Yeah. Also, what the heck was that shot? That weird shot with the camera like moved through the wooden fence into the Renaissance fair setting. I was like,
Yeah.
why? Weird. That's weird. Yeah. And also, again, what Becca said about Lance Hornsby getting turned on by Pamela, I was like, ugh, are we really doing this? Like, no. And as far as the variants are concerned, I'm like, well, they kind of at least acknowledged that such zombies have been around for a long time. There have been like stories about them. And I was like, you know what? And it helps link it back to season number one. And I'm like, okay, so it's kind of funny that they added this thing as a homage way back. And then they're like bringing the entire thing back in order to make the final season seem more interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yep,
That's
yep. So you're going back to season number one to make the final season interesting.
back when the show was good.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, it's same for me. Like that was my other like griping what the fuck was just it's so fucking out of the blue for them to throw this wrench in things with the zombies or walkers being able to do these things again this late in the game. If they'd done it last season, I mean, shit, even at the very beginning of fucking 8,000 episodes, season 11 that we're in right now, it would have made a little bit, like, I maybe would have been less annoyed with it, but you're really going to toss this in, like, 2 or 3 episodes into the third part of the last season? Can't. Come on.
And it's not like we haven't seen a whole bunch of zombies. So there were. So you're telling me that there wasn't a single variant zombie in the giant herd that the Whisperers had, huh?
Yeah. Or like
Like,
ever before, ever. Or
yeah.
even in Fear.
Yeah, where are the variants in the Fear the Walking Dead story? Like, yeah, it makes no sense. It really makes no sense. The only way this makes sense is coming back to what Becca ended up sharing. Like, oh, she's here. Yeah. Becca ended up sharing, like, that idea that the Civil Republic is responsible for these variants, that makes the most sense.
But they don't have, there's no way they have
won't do
time
it.
to,
Yeah.
get into that. So again, it's stupid timing for them to finally make the walkers interesting again.
Yeah. So, okay, so I guess Becca shared her, she shared her Pamela and Lance dynamic. We have the Ren Fair thing, the walkers can climb, and they can't just like climb stairs. Like, no, they're like climbing a ladder. I'm like, okay.
Opening doors. Reacting the way that humans would react. Like, I was watching the walker fight, and it was like, it wasn't even like, ugh, it was like grasping and pulling and yanking. So it was straight up,
Yeah. It should have
it's
been
very
Eric.
human.
It
Very
should have been
human.
Eric. The variant should have been Eric. Coming after Aaron.
Oh my god.
I remember you.
Oh my God, okay.
Give me a king.
All right. Episode 20, right?
Yep.
What's been lost? The damn quality.
The children.
Okay, so I'm like, my favorite moment was that Pamela finally like done messed up because she went after the kids. And I'm like, Carol needs to put her down. Carol is out for revenge, and I'm here for it. I want to see her kill Pamela.
I have a quick question. So whenever I asked a question in our group chat, you guys just reacted, but I was genuinely asking a question. Those people who were going after everybody, those, I thought those were Lance Hornby's men. They are, right?
Yep.
Okay, so have we lost sight of the whole secret underground
resistance thing?
Union resistance? Has that just
Yeah.
disappeared?
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't talked about it in a long time.
And okay, and so the people that were going after them, are they Hornsby's men or Pamela's men?
They're kind of working for everyone now because these were the same people who were responsible for Sebastian dying because they ended up
Right?
killing those people that turned into zombies. So now
Right, and those people
Hornsby
are
people are working for Pamela. It's like one thing now.
okay. So it's been
Yeah.
like what's the word for it?
Well, and
When osmosified osmosis.
did
Okay.
we ever get explanation? Was it it was one of the first couple episodes that aired this part of the season, where Pamela kind of she gives that order. It's like execute order 66, right? Was that what that was though? Was she the one who actually put that whole thing in motion? Because like I don't remember ever getting any other explanation for what she was ordering to be done.
I thought that it was that they that the zombies, that they deliberately left their posts so the zombies could come in. That's what I thought it was. Because I'm of the opinion that they have that this is just what I was thinking. I thought that they had like a pretty solid perimeter, but they keep hordes of walkers nearby so they can like summon them.
Yep.
And I thought that 66 was a way to keep the civilians in check. Like, oh, 66, like bring the walkers in so everybody thinks that we're in trouble, but not really in trouble.
Yeah.
And then, but that's what I thought it was, because people were like, because Rosita, I think it was Rosita, said, I thought you guys had people on this. And he said, well, somebody's not doing their job. I thought that it meant that that Order 66 was letting the walkers closer, because they were saying they breached the perimeter. They breached the perimeter. I don't know. That's what I thought, but I could be wrong.
To keep the people in check. Yeah.
Yeah, just to scare them a little bit. Obviously, like they could take care of the walkers. Well, for some reason, I don't know how the thing turned over. I don't know how that. I don't know how that Jeep rolled over. That was a mystery to me.
It was the variants. Wait a minute, no.
The variants did it.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Anyway, my favorite moments, it was like everything with Yumiko in this episode. She was great. She was just entirely great.
Yep. Finally, that actress getting something to do.
Yeah, seriously.
Like she's just there.
Seriously, she's kind of just either not been around or barely, or like just kind of popped up in the background for like a line or two here and there. But now all of a sudden, finally, she's getting her screen time again. Good for her.
Yeah, and my favorite moment was Lance finally dying, even though Morgan, even though Daryl and Carol like gave him a chance to survive, they were like, you know what, you're free, you can like run off. But no, he picked up a gun and he tried to fight, and Carol was ready with a bow and arrow, and she was like, "You're dead." Finally, yeah, he's dead.
Robin Hood Carol over here.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Also, he tried to kill her in the sewers, right? In the mines.
Maybe.
I don't. Yeah, he was kind of just standing there with the light. He was just kind of like
acting off, like, "Oh, I thought you were right behind me." I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Sure you did, Lance. We all believe you.
And
sure.
the skin on that was so weird.
Everything that comes out of your mouth totally isn't a lie.
I thought you were talking to me at first, and I was like, "Hey."
Okay.
Lance dying definitely was my favorite moment.
That's
I'm
it.
so tired of him.
Good riddance.
Yeah, Sebastian died, Lance died, only Pamela's left. And Negan. Negan needs to die, but he won't.
No. Clearly.
Yeah. But yeah, episode number 21.
Oh wait, are we did we not have any least favorite moments or any gripes or what the fuck moments from this episode?
I wrote that day.
Yeah,
I just like the fact that Lance finally died. That's it.
Yep. I'm also I'm just angry with Pamela, but that's such like a constant thing. That it's kind of like, yeah, it's not even for this episode, it's for everything. Pamela, you dumb, and I hate you. All right, episode 21, Outpost 22.
Ew. Mm-hmm. My favorite moment was that little zombie kid. I was like, yep, that little kid is putting in the work. Good for you. Like, you're acting, little sir. You're acting.
Yeah. You got your money's worth, zombie extra boy.
And also the guy offing himself, I was like, yeah, that was a nice choice narratively, because yes, Carol and Daryl, everyone is trying to protect their families, but other people are trying to protect their families too. So he was like, you know what, I'll kill myself, because if I get caught and they find out that I help these people, then my family will be in trouble. So I'll just like kill myself. Even though Carol was like, hey, we'll hit you, we'll just injure you just enough that it feels like you didn't help us or something. So that was nice. And also the Outpost 2022 reveal. I was like, this place looks familiar. Oh, it's Alexandria. Okay.
What
Okay.
exactly are they doing there? I was not.
They're cleaning Alexandria up.
Oh no. They're putting people in Alexandria, basically.
No, they're cleaning up
The areas
the
around,
area.
yeah, the locations, because they need to like build a rail track over there, a train
Okay,
track.
okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they're basically building a track.
Oh, so they're literally a chain gang.
Yeah.
I really have like I don't really have much to say about this particular episode. I did already kind of bring up like the stuff with Ezekiel and Negan, and that's kind of like that was kind of my only takeaway from this episode. I don't remember, like I mean I literally just watched it last night, and I don't remember feeling anything other than like, that okay. They're it's a prison camp. And I guess a literal chain gang, like building the railroad, working on a chain gang. I don't know. I don't know. And the Ezekiel thing is like it goes along with your least favorite moments. I don't even know if it's like a least favorite moment or anything. It's just my one takeaway from this episode was being reminded how awful Negan was, and like, so now we're just, I guess, supposed to believe he's cool because he has a wife and a baby on the way.
Yeah, and it's not
Yeah.
like he's a murderer, he's a tyrant, he ended up sexually assaulting like a bunch of women, forcing them to sleep with him, marrying him, and I'm like, you're trying to redeem such a person because he's like cool, because he's played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like, like no, and you're giving him a spin-off, like, I don't care. I really don't care.
I've never understood Negan fans. Like they're like, yeah, Negan's so cool, and I'm like, yikes, y'all. He's literally a rapist. Like,
Yeah, and
ooh.
he's like skinny. You can take him down with one punch. You should be able to.
Also, I don't
Also,
really.
mhm,
Go ahead. You were still talking about your least
yeah, my
favorite.
least favorite moment was like, of course the guard is asleep. Of course. I'm
Mhm.
like, I understand plot conveniences, like, but come on now. Come on. And the guard remained asleep while everyone was able to get out. Like Maggie helped everyone get out, and I was like, yeah. What did he take? Why is he asleep like that?
Maybe somebody put something in his water. I don't know. Tea. I was gonna say coffee, but I was like, that doesn't make sense. Coffee would hopefully keep you awake, not knock you out. I get, well, and again, somebody put something in his drink or whatever.
He accidentally stuck him with a needle as they passed by. Poor Kelly.
Yeah.
Poor Kelly. Poor Kelly. I love Kelly. And it's just really hard to see her losing the actress, they, them, the characters, she, her. It's really hard to see her losing hope.
Yeah.
And
And
I don't
losing
know.
Connie again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
enough.
exactly.
Enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I just yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
did you guys like the fact that Maggie didn't kill that zombie kid?
She didn't?
Yeah, she didn't kill that zombie kid, right? Unless it was like very necessary into like later on,
She
but
did.
she just walked away from the zombie kid at first.
She killed it eventually.
Yeah, but why? Why let it remain alive? Like,
Yeah. I
mhm.
mean,
I
think they're
it's
just
maybe
trying to say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Becca.
fishy. Oh, I think it just reminds her of Herschel, and I think that they're trying to pull at our heartstrings
Really,
by
for a character like Maggie.
Yeah, I know. I think that's what they're trying to do, right? Is like, oh, she's a mom with a kid about that age, so she can't do it. But it's like,
It's Maggie.
yeah, and also
Yeah,
it's still a walker. Like it's still,
it can still bite you and
yeah.
scratch
yeah.
you.
And it's Maggie. She understands that. Like, it made no sense
Yeah.
to me. Yeah.
I can't imagine that she has never once encountered a child walker since she had a
Mm-hmm.
baby. Like,
Yep.
and no other
Mm-hmm.
character. Like, I mean, obviously Michonne wasn't a mom. Oh well, no shit. Yeah, she was. Like
Yeah, she was a mom.
Michonne had been a mother when she killed the governor's daughter, Walker daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. And that kid
What
was
is
like
it with
chained up and everything, so it wasn't like it was that much of a danger.
And Carol was killing kids that weren't even zombies.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
she was a
right.
mom,
Mika, she killed Mika.
right?
No, not Mika, Lizzie.
Lizzie, yeah.
Right?
Lizzie.
Flowers.
Look
Maybe
at the
Maggie just
flowers, Lizzie.
maybe Maggie just needed to lead that kid, that Walker kid, off to look at the flowers. She just didn't have time, so she was like, "Oh, I don't have time to give it a sweet death." I don't know.
And
I
she
don't
kind of
know.
and the way that she ended up killing him, like kind of cradling him in her arms, she was like, "No, stop!" But then she was like, "Yeah, I have to kill you."
She
Yeah,
also
it was
didn't really
weird.
have a weapon to kill him at that point. Like she had a rock, and maybe it was she felt like he deserved a cleaner death than
And that
that,
rock
than
was
being
so fake.
smashed.
That
Like it
Yeah,
rock
was
was so fake.
it was
Like the way
styrofoam.
she
I
picked it
know.
up, the way she picked it up, I was like, "Okay, Maggie. Okay, Hulk."
Gonna pick this rock on up.
But yeah, I mean that does make a little bit, that does help it a little bit, because maybe it felt too it
Violent.
felt
Yeah.
yeah, it felt too like
Mm.
close,
Mm.
right? Like it's not a knife or a, or a gun or whatever, bow and arrow, crossbow. I don't know. It's something where she would have to use her hand to bash the head however many times, and
And
not
it might
maybe
end up
that was,
looking like Glenn. So
oh God.
she was like, "I'm
I
not
mean,
doing that."
I had that thought too, but yeah, but I wasn't gonna say it. So you had to go there. God damn it.
She's like, "I'm not going to do
I mean,
that."
we did. I was so worried whenever they're doing the flashbacks. Like whenever we saw Abraham get conked in the head, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna show Glenn. Thank God they didn't show Glenn.
Well, other gripes than what the fucks.
Junior recaps, they need to stop. Also, like the way like there isn't a giant herd behind the train. Like,
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
are the variants now, huh?
they're obviously playing King of the Castle in the Renaissance Fairgrounds. Haven't you
I mean,
heard?
maybe maybe that's kind of, I guess that would make a little bit of sense as to why there weren't any in like the giant whisper herd or whatever, if they have enough mental capacity to do the things they're doing, then they're not those mindless walkers that just follow something that's loud, right?
Mm.
So
Maybe
they're off on their own, doing their own thing. They're not following the crowd. They're not bowing to the peer pressure, guys.
they're not sheep, they're wolves. Maybe that's why we haven't seen them, is because they are, like Tara said, they're not following the sounds. Maybe they have some ability to stay hidden or
An
to hide, or
episode.
maybe they're,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe their brain thing, whatever it is that's giving them this knowledge, is keeping them from venturing too close to people. Maybe.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just a thought, but like the more we think about it, the angrier we're gonna get. So
Yeah. I mean, not even like keeping them from venturing too close to people, because they need to be around
Mhm.
live people if they're gonna,
for
eat.
sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I mean, my thought. Ooh, sorry, Ellie, I just kicked my dog. I didn't realize she was under my feet. But yeah, my thought there is that might be why they're not. They are at least smart enough, quote unquote, for lack of a better term, to not be part of those just giant herds that are just following a sound for no reason, right?
Yeah.
These characters end up stumbling in the city, and we have this entire Walker variant community just going about their day,
Yeah, exactly. And they
pushing shopping carts, like flailing with their.
Yeah, they're like doing their laundry and they look up and they're just like staring, and then one of them's jaw falls off, and Maggie and Negan are like,
Oh no!
obviously we've interrupted something. I'm so
what
sorry.
was that Will Smith movie?
I Am Legend.
Yeah.
I Am Legend. Does the zombies think that the humans are the zombies? Right?
Have you guys seen
Like the humans are the danger.
They are the Walking Dead. I mean, that's been the thing this whole time. It's really the people.
In I Am Legend, they're more like a vampire
Yeah.
type thing. They're called hemocytes or hemo. Anyway,
but
it doesn't
for
matter.
them, Will Smith's character is the villain.
Yeah.
So for these variant zombies, they are telling their little variant zombie children, "Stay away from the humans. They're dangerous. They'll kill you."
Oh God, the idea that they would have children.
Little zombie kids.
Hey, zombies have sex in Z Nation.
Oh no, variant zombies going at each other. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that. I don't think they're gonna go that far.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of zombies boinking.
No.
And Eugene weird. Just looking in from the window.
No.
Eugene is like, I'm doing this for research purposes.
Yeah,
of course
research.
You
are. All right. Anyway, moving on. Wrap up, right? Recommendations.
Terry, what do you think is going to happen in like the final 3 episodes?
There's only 3 left. Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think we are definitely getting a time skip, a time jump. It needs to happen.
I mean, that maybe, but when? Because normally I would say that a time skip would have happened between like the 4th and 5th episodes of this set of 8, right? Like, so I guess if maybe they'll do one in like the last episode just to kind of show us how
a grown up Judith, basically narrating what happened.
Yeah,
that could be a thing, that Judith is the one telling the story to the next generation.
Yeah, and then she closes the book and she's like, "This is a song of ice and fire." And then we are the Walking Dead, and she closes the book.
She's got like the compendium, the Walking Dead compendium. Oh Lord. I don't know. You're probably right that there has to be some sort of time jump or time skip, but I feel like the only way it could work at this point is if it happens like at the very end.
Yeah.
But I also am just still like, how are they gonna wrap all of this up in 3 episodes? Like,
they aren't. They won't
even partially. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect a
Maybe
happy ending per se, but like unending.
maybe the episodes are going to be longer.
I mean, they've done that
that's-
before.
Yeah, we have had longer episodes. Yeah.
I mean, not that
God.
being, an hour and a half long is going to solve any problems or anything, but
Yeah.
That ship has sailed. They know that they won't be able to do anything satisfying. But yeah, only 3 more episodes left. It's weird. It's weird to think about it. But how the heck are they going to address these plot lines in like 3 episodes? Because for the preview, when it comes to the preview for episode number 2, Maggie and her crew need to take back Alexandria. And then we also have that Eugene and Yumiko trial thing going on. Like,
Mhm.
how?
Oh, that was another thing I really liked. I liked that Yumiko, she made this, I guess it was the last episode? I think it was the last episode maybe, where she stood up and was like, "Hey, by the way, I want to introduce you guys to my brother. He's super important around here, like drawing everybody's attention to him in case he were to disappear." Basically
Yeah.
being like, a big middle finger to Pamela, so people now know that they're related. So in case anything were to happen in the trial, then they know that there would be a direct consequence to Tommy. But I really liked that she stepped up and was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be defending Eugene Porter." That was really cool of her.
Yeah, she handled it very, very well. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any theories because at this point I'm just so like, how are they even going to wrap this up?
And how the
Yeah.
heck are they going to get Daryl to Europe in like 3 episodes?
I'm on a boat, motherfucker. Do a
I have a
flip.
feeling that's going to be something that we find out about in another, like in his own show or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Again, with Maggie, and why would Maggie and Negan go to the Isle of the Dead, to the Dead City? Like, yeah. I think we aren't going to get any explanation in these 3 episodes.
And I'm fine. Like that's all like fine. I don't like I don't really care, honestly, because I don't care about those shows. I just want
maybe those will be time skips. Maybe it'll be like
Mhm.
like 3 years from the events of The Walking Dead.
Daryl is in Europe. Yeah, that could happen.
Makes sense.
Also, another thing that I forgot to talk about, like, remember when there was a fan theory that Aaron and Jesus might have hooked up?
Yeah, I mean they were kind of like close hanging out. Jesus was teaching Aaron how to fight for a while, so it's
But I guess they didn't hook up. Aaron didn't mention Jesus. Like, he didn't. I was like, okay, so I guess they were still friends.
Yeah, or just I mean, he wasn't his husband. He wasn't. He didn't have the history with him that he had with Eric. Anyway, we were getting so off. Like,
But yeah, wrap up. Recommendations.
So I recommend The School for Good and Evil. It's on Netflix.
It's
written by a queer brown man. He's gay. And I just wanted to make that distinction.
Even though the movie is not.
There is some queerness in there, but that's debatable.
No.
Farid and
we have had a conversation about this. If the movie wants me to play Find the Queer Character, then that movie does not have queer representation.
Well, the books are LGBT.
Yeah, Find Waldo.
The movie may not necessarily be LGBT, but the books are. There is the books are not YA, the books are a kids series. And the movie PG-13, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. I'm a very avid fan of the books. I have not finished them all, but I am very much into them. The movie was good. Don't read the books and then see the movie. See the movie first and then read the books. And normally I would say the opposite, but you need to see the movie first and read the books because they're totally different. They're totally separate. Um, but Kit Young is in them. He was in Shadow and Bone. Also, Charlize Theron is in it. Kerry Washington. Lawrence
they got some
Fishburne.
really big
Michelle
names.
Yeoh is in there.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
Patty LuPone. It's a great.
Kate Blanchett is voicing that
Yes, Kate
narrator.
Blanchett is the narrator / historian. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It's definitely the books were originally written as a parody of Disney movies. They're written as a satire of Disney films. But the movie becomes basically a Disney film. Unfortunately. But the writer, because I actually talked to the writer, did not get a chance to officially interview him, but I spoke to the writer whenever I met him in 2018, and he told me that he was taking a chance to rewrite the parts of the book that he did not like. And so he was using the movie as a chance to kind of rewrite his books a little bit and change them a little bit. But he did confirm that there are queer characters in the books. There is a whole plot around a character who is gay, a gay prince, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so definitely check out the movie, check out the books. You can find them in the kids section. The books are by Soman Chainani. And I'm really, really excited. A lot of my friends have watched the movie and they've not liked it, but that's fine. It's okay. I love it. That's all that matters. I've watched it like 4 times already. But yeah,
Netflix just wants the numbers. Netflix just
and
wants
it
the
actually
numbers.
has the largest budget of any Netflix movie.
Yeah, all those actors probably took up a huge portion of it. Let's be real.
And it has the largest budget of any Netflix. I'm pretty sure any Netflix production actually. So
And
yeah,
the acting is good for a kid movie. The acting is good.
Yeah. They keep saying it's a YA. It's YA. It's not YA. It is a children's book.
It's a kids movie. Yeah.
It's a kids movie. It definitely does lean more YA. I can understand because there's quite a bit of mature stuff in it, I guess. Which is fine with me that they took it more of a YA route with the movie. The director has already said that if the movie is well received, then they will proceed with the second movie. And the third movie, they said that they already have plans to do all of the whole series of movies. And Soman Chainani is already working on the script for his limited series, The Beast and the Beauty, which is a retelling of fairy tales, I believe. I have the book. I have not read it yet. But I believe Sony contacted him about doing that. And I'm not sure where they're going to take it after that. But it's really cool. I'm really excited for him. He's a great guy. He's really friendly. He's just a really cool guy in general. And he's always been really cool to me. So support it. Support queer brown writers.
Oh, he was also in the movie. He had a cameo in the movie.
Yes, yep. He had a cameo in the movie. He was a School for Evil teacher. Also, the movie has a very big POC presence, which was not quite so present in the original book series. Yeah. There's a character in a wheelchair, which is really cool.
But yeah, watch it. It's a fun movie.
Watch it. Sorry.
Don't think too much about it. Just watch it. Take it for what it is.
Don't compare it to Harry Potter because
don't.
Don't compare it to Harry Potter because unfortunately the world building is lacking a bit in the movie, but the world in the books is great. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so my recommendation would be Interview with the Vampire. It is queer as heck. Watch it. It's heartbreaking. It's intense. We are like 5 episodes in. Just watch it. And it's on AMC. The same channel that has The Walking Dead. But yeah, the AMC is basically building their own Anne Rice's universe. So after Interview with the Vampire, they're going to do that Mayfair Witches book that she wrote. Yeah, that's going to debut in January or December. So yeah, they're trying to make their own universe over there. Watch it.
My recommendation is Primal. It's on HBO Max. Go
Yeah, I've
whatever.
heard about it.
Yeah, it's
Primal TV show.
I can't pronounce the guy's name who's the creator.
The
I mean,
animated show?
Yeah, like I can pronounce it, but I don't feel like looking it
Oh,
up.
it's so good.
It is so good.
It's so good.
And it
It's
just
so
like
good.
I just finished watching season 2
Mhm.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's done, right? It's this
Yep,
particular
it's done.
story is wrapped up, and it's a tearjerker for a show that has like basically no dialogue. It's really it was I
It's so
was I was
good.
surprised how much I really loved it. So
Yeah. So activities and cons.
I'm not doing any conventions till Ice and FireCon next April, so
I'm not planning on doing anything right
Oh,
now.
yeah, I looked at your post about like needing volunteers for the con. I was like, okay, it's happening.
yeah. Well, next year, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Don't know about beyond that. We'll see how I feel.
Beyond the con.
Yeah. It's like, do I even have a life beyond this convention? I don't know anymore. But yeah, that's the. I mean, other than like maybe some little personal like mini vacations or something like that. That's the only like thing I have coming up. So
Same. I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to Canada.
Oh, okay.
So fun party time. Not really party time, just vibe time. Anything you're doing, Farid?
Calgary like has a comic and entertainment expo in April, so maybe I'll attend it. Maybe I won't. I'm not really sure. But it's like in April, so
yeah,
I still have
everything's
time.
well. I mean, it
Yeah.
is kind of this time of year. There's very few conventions that happen in November, December, and January. Really, even February. Like it's not until March that things really get busy anyway. And I guess there's like a small chance I'll end up doing something like more local or whatever between now and Ice and FireCon the end of next April, but it won't be like a big to do. It'll be like I go to the Game of Thrones one that's happening in LA here in December for like a day. Maybe. I don't know. That's
All right. Well, this has been Bekah. For a second, I was like, I forgot my name. Bekah, Tara, and Farid bitching about stuff and things with the Bitching Dead. Thank you again for joining us. Please follow the Bitching Dead and the Geeky Rate on Twitter. Remember, we are a free webcast run off of donations from viewers like you. Thank you for contributing and helping our host site, the Geeky Area. And hopefully soon we'll have an announcement about when we're going to be doing our next webcast. It'll probably encompass everything in the finale. All right.
Great episode.
Goodbye, fellow bitchers.
Bye.